Hey guys, TKC here, the Kaijudo channel, and today I'm going to be talking about organized play that has been announced on various different places. But before I do that, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be showing off a few cool things that I got on the trip, not just from the Wizards of the Coast trip, but also from the Awesome Games Done Quick trip, I guess, as well, just as a throw-in. I got this, which I think is pretty cool. I got a Twitch TV shirt. They kind of just like sent out awesome Twitch merchandise for streaming on their site. There's the website down there. And yeah, I was one of the lucky few who got to get a shirt. They didn't send enough for everybody, so I was like awake and I was at the right place at the right time, so I grabbed one of those. And I also got like stickers and pins and stuff, so that's always pretty cool. But now for the awesome part, the stuff I got from the Kaijudo trip. So, this is probably the craziest awesomeness thing ever. I got a big blowout picture of my preview card, Starlight Strategist. It's just so pretty, and just for reference, this is how much bigger it is than the regular Starlight Strategist. It's about like 5 times bigger. It's pretty nice. I'd like to like frame this or something or hang it up somewhere. Unfortunately, this is not the best place to do so. I kind of have a bookshelf behind me, and so this will not be a good place for that. But maybe if I ever decide to change locations for filming and make it look a bit more professional, I could always put this in the background. And of course, I got some signed cards from a lot of different people. Basically enough to fit one whole page in a binder. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. So it's this page right here. So it's a bunch of Hydrobot crabs, and then also a Razorkinder and a Morna. So I'm going to talk about the Hydrobot crabs first, I guess. I think I got 4 from staff. So I got Chuck Arnett. I guess I'll pull them out and show you one by one. Chuck Arnett, and he wrote in a silver Sharpie, Hydrobot crab is not subject to the 3-card limit. So you can play as many Hydrobot crabs as you want in a deck. Not really, but yeah. This one I believe is Kieran Chase. Kind of hard to see, but it's green. It says Kieran. It says KC, I think. This one right here is Ryan Miller, and he gave Hydrobot Crab a quad breaker, so he breaks 4 shields. It's pretty mean. Awesome stuff. And lastly from staff, also got Andrew Cole. Also probably really hard to see, but there you go. And of course I got 3 from the awesome other Kaijudo tubers, or Kaijudo people. Aiden Thorn, CVH, Earth Power, or maybe not that order. No, Earth Power's in the middle, CVH is over there. But you get my point. But another thing that they didn't show on Earth Power's video. Okay, now something neat that they didn't show in the video, and I don't know why they didn't. This is just really, really cool. We got Razorkinder and Morna Gatling Dragon. Now, if anyone knows why these 2 cards are related, it's because they're both drawn by illustrator Wayne Reynolds. Really awesome guy, and I'm sure a lot of people out there know who he is, especially like Removal Video and Yami Michael, they know him very well. And well, I got a signature on both cards. It's a really cool signature. It's a W, like a Triforce looking thing, and then R, I guess. I don't know what the Triforce thing means. If any of you guys know, that'd be really cool. But yeah, cards signed by Wayne Reynolds, and it's the cards he drew. These are interesting sleeves. Silver sleeves. But now let's get straight into the important part of this video, and that's talking about like every single thing about organized play, to make sure you guys know how this works in case you missed something in the article, or if you just didn't feel like reading the article at all, you're just happy organized play is there. Well, I'm here to give you the details. And guess what, Earth Power? You are lucky because you got to talk about this before I can, so good job. But that's the first time I'm letting you do that ever, just letting you know. You're always going to be late. So let's start from the very top. We have 4 different events now that they're launching with this organized play, and only 3 of them are really more geared towards competitive play, but the other one's casual and it's new, so it kind of fits in with this discussion. So the very first thing they're going to be doing is on March 16th is the Dragon Strike Infernus set premiere. So basically, whenever a new set comes out, the first Saturday that follows the release, and they're going to keep on doing set premieres with all the sets after Dragon Strike Infernos. So these events are going to be pretty cool. You're basically going to go there, have your first chance to try out the new cards if you haven't got them already. You get to bring a friend, have fun. It's pretty much just a really fun event. You get promo cards. You could probably get some other, neat special things like maybe free packs or, they're getting free promos already, so there's that. So this is pretty much free unless the place decides to make it not free for some reason, but it should be free. So it's pretty much just a fun day to enjoy the new cards and meet some new players. So now we go on to the second event, which is actually the first event that they're going to be starting with this new organized play thing, and that is Kaijudo Duel Day. So if you guys have played Magic before, it's very similar to Friday Night Magic in that every week there's going to be this dedicated tournament on whatever time or whatever day it's going to be, and it's pretty much just going to be like a local tournament. That's pretty much what it is. They're locals. And I believe that the winner and second place, or maybe like top certain number of people, will win promo cards, which is really awesome. So I believe Friday Night Magic has the very similar structure. You get promo cards for winning, and then maybe even give out to a random other person as a drawing. I believe that's what it said somewhere, where they're going to be giving out a lot of promos to the store so they could, throw in some extra promo cards to a lucky person. And not only that, but they also revealed to us the 2 promos that you can get at Kaijudo Duel Days. So, the very first one they showed is Dorado Golden Dragon. This is a really awesome card, I love it. So it's another Celestial Dragon to join with Orion. It's a level 6, 6000 double breaker, and has the ability Flawless Champion. While you have 5 or more shields, this creature gets plus 6000 power and has triple breaker. So, Evil Fury Tatsurion, you're now not the only creature in the game that has triple breaker, because this one can potentially get triple breaker as well. This card's very interesting. You have to have 5 or more shields, so this would fit perfectly in a deck that utilizes, shield regeneration of some sort. As of right now, we only have about like 3 cards that could kind of do this in Cobalt, Flare Inhibitor, and Recharge, but out of all those 3, Cobalt is like really the really good one out of those 3. So hopefully Dragon Strike Infernus or other sets down the line, there'll be more kind of shield regeneration. Maybe from the first multi-civ set, which would be really awesome to start off the next season. Maybe something similar to Sky Sword would be pretty awesome from Duel Masters, where you get mana from top of the deck and shield. That would be pretty awesome. I'm just suggesting it. And the second promo, which excites me so much, this card looks really awesome. It's Billion Degree Dragon. This is very different from the one from Duel Masters. This one is a lot like Baza Gazelle Dragon, kind of, from the original game, Duel Masters. But I'm going to go over it real quick. It's a level 8, 6000 power armor dragon. It has fast attack, it has double breaker, and hypersonic charge. This creature can attack untapped creatures on the turn it enters the battle zone. So this is pretty neat. It's like a mix of a lot of different creatures. It's a lot like Boldtail in that it's a double breaker that has fast attack, but it does have 1000 less power. But that's really not the biggest deal in the world. And it can also only attack untapped creatures on the turn it enters the battle zone. So that's like the only downside to it, and I guess the 6000 power is not like the greatest ever. But just the fact that like you don't have to rely on your creatures being tapped because of Boldtail. Boldtail can't attack untapped creatures on the turn it's summoned. And then like Morna Gatling Dragon doesn't have to rely on hyperspeed. This is pretty much like a Morna and a Boldtail Dragon combined together. So, this card is really good. I could see it being used as like a one-of in a lot of different kind of decks. Maybe even more than that in certain kind of dragon decks as well. So believe it or not, we're actually going to be having ratings and rankings in Kaijudo Organized Play. However, we're not going to have it at the very start of when Duel Days commence. So Duel Days are actually starting April 5th, so that's going to be the first day you can actually compete at events. But the ratings don't kick in until May 3rd. And believe it or not, May 3rd is also the start of the next event that they're going to be having. Is called the Kaijudo Master Challenge. So from May 3rd to June 30th, there are going to be 24 Kaijudo Master Challenges all over North America. So not just United States, but hopefully we're going to also have some events in Canada, which is going to be really awesome. At least 2 or 3 would be really nice. One in Montreal or at least Toronto or something. That'd be really cool. But of course they're gonna try to spread it out quite a bit. So we're gonna have some on the West Coast, some on the East Coast, maybe some in the middle somewhere. So, that'd be really awesome. And then there's going to be like 20 or so in the States in a bunch of different places. So because this is only going to be going on for 8 weeks and there's 24 events to go through, they're all going to be, done at the same time, but I guess spread out so that, people can compete every week or so. So you only have 8 weeks to try to get into these Kaijudo Master Challenge events. Now, what is a Kaijudo Master Challenge? Well, it is pretty much like a regional qualifier kind of thing. You're going to be joining these tournaments. You're going to be picking a civilization of your choice. So you can take whatever civilization you want. And you use that as the civilization you're kind of representing for the tournament alone. You don't have to run a deck with that civilization or anything. It's just like a civilization you want to kind of like represent, I think Magic has something very similar. You could represent a guild and kind of get points towards that guild, but that has nothing to do with what deck you are running in these events. So you just play it out like a regular tournament. We get to the top 2, the finals, and both of those people in the finals are going to be qualified for the biggest event of the year, which is going to take place in August, the Kaijudo Championship. But I'll talk about the Kaijudo Championship a little bit later. Let me just finish up KMCs, which is the new acronym for Kaijudo Master Challenge. And so the first 2 get qualified. The winner actually gets paid trip to the Kaijudo Championship, so it's even better. It's a really great incentive to actually compete and try to win. And not only that, but prizes are not only going to be given to just those 2, or maybe not even just the top, certain amount of people, but it's going to be given to all the people who chose the same civilization as the winner of the Kaijudo Master Challenge. So while the first place winner gets some awesome prize packs and stuff like that, and the paid trip, which not everyone's going to get, by the way, but basically everyone that chose the same civilization as the winner gets a very similar prize pack, which is super cool. So just with that, just with Kaijudo Master Challenge, that's already 48 people who get invited to the Kaijudo Championship. And now you may be thinking, 48, that's not really that much people. Well, those are not the only people who are going to be making it. They're also going to be taking top-ranked players in the rankings who have not already gotten an invite. So this detail might have been missed. I don't think it was mentioned in the official Kaijudo website article, but on the ICV2 article where they talked about it a bit more in depth, they showed that you'll be able to get qualified if you are high up on the rankings and have not gotten an invitation yet. We don't really know how many of these people in the top ranks are going to be taking, but we could assume that it will probably push the number of people invited over 50, of course, maybe even 60 or higher. So this Kaijudo Championship is not like the smallest turnout at all. Of course, not everyone's going to be able to go. I mean, sometimes people are on the East Coast and they don't have the money or the funds to actually get all the way to the West Coast and Seattle for the championship. But, I mean, it's safe to say that at least 24 people are going to be going for sure. But, with all the people that they're giving invites to, it could be potentially a lot more than that. And besides, this is the championship. This is quite exclusive. You had to, work your way up and get qualified to be at this thing. So it's not like everyone who could join, you gotta have to earn it. And so now we have the Kaijudo Championship. So it's gonna be taking place in Seattle. So it's really cool. It's gonna be a 2-day event. Basically, the first day, it's pretty much like a fun day. You get to do almost whatever you want at Wizards of the Coast HQ, but mainly you're going to be working with R&D members to actually kind of make your own kind of cards. Not a whole card in itself, but you could choose whatever you want. Like maybe a new mechanic on a card, which would be really cool. You could put flavor text with one of your own quotes, or even yourself. You could do a whole bunch of things. There's like no limit to this kind of stuff, except I don't think it'll be a whole card for just one person. But I mean, you get to put your own kind of spin or twist on certain cards that not a lot of people are going to have the chance of doing. And then the second day, of course, is the Kaijudo Championship, where all the people who are invited and who are there to show up get to duke it out to be the Kaijudo champion. So, if you are the champion of the Kaijudo Championship, you get lots of awesome things. So the very first thing, you get to go back to the store, your store that you qualified in. Okay, that I'm not too sure about, because there's a possibility of people flying out to other stores and then winning at their store. And so it'd be kind of awkward to go back to that store and not your own store. But I'm assuming that it'll be your store of choice, or the store that you usually go to that's close by to you. You're going to be going back to that store and having a huge Kaijudo celebration event because you won, and the people who watched you are so happy and like, yay, you won. So there's that. That's really awesome right off the bat. Not only that, but also, I believe not only just the winner, but maybe it could potentially be like top amount of people in the championship are going to be in the game. They did mention something in the ICV2 article about this, how they could potentially be like a master in the Kaijudo online game, which is really neat. You know, it's kind of like a permanent, like kind of like a award kind of thing. It's kind of like your name in the Hall of Fame. It's like it's very close to that, and except like you're on an online game and you get to use, I don't know if you get to use their deck or something, but you actually get to go against them using the deck they used at the Kaijudo Championship, which is just beyond craziness. It's just awesome. So that's pretty much it as far as organized play goes. And sadly, this is only going to be taking place in North America for this year anyway. They already confirmed on this same ICV2 article that they do have plans to releasing this internationally. So don't worry, guys. You guys are going to have Kaijudo eventually. I know you guys have to be really patient. It's really, really, really hard. But trust me, guys. You guys will love Kaijudo once it gets into your countries. And, you know, then World Championships could happen maybe. You know, who knows what could happen. But hopefully this year is going to be like a really big year for Kaijudo. You know, getting it out there, getting excited, getting more people in the game, including people from other countries than just North American countries. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be an awesome ride. I really can't wait for organized play. So remember, guys, it starts March 16th at the set premiere, and then duel days start April 5th, and then ratings and rankings and Kaijudo Master Challenges start on May 3rd, and they finish at June 30th, and then in August we will have the Kaijudo Championship at Wizards of the Coast. Whew, that was a long video. So hopefully I got out there everything I wanted to talk about as far as organized play goes anyway. But of course there's a bunch of other news that have been sent out across the interwebs and stuff like that that, you know, don't really have to do with organized play, but they're also awesome news as well. So stay tuned for a video like that sometime later in the week. And maybe tomorrow, expect a duel between me and one of the awesome people on the Wizards of the Coast team. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm loving organized play, crazy stuff. And yeah, guys, this is TKC signing off. See you later, guys. Have a nice day.